Alrighty guys, we're back at it with our second last Tool album review. It's been a quick little run through. They only got like 6 albums, so but it's been a blast. I love their discography, very cool. Each album has definitely its own feel. And of course, this time we're looking at their last album of the 2000s, none other than 10,000 Days. And man, once again, these guys just knock it out of the park with the album art. And see, this has kind of got like some lenses on it here. That's really the main art. Real, again, DMT looking stuff. Alex Gray did this art. And see, these little lenses here are for, you're supposed to like put them up to your face, and look at some of the art in there that, I mean, get it going here. So there's some like that, and some really, really cool stuff in there. It's kind of hard to see on camera. But, yeah, just awesome album art yet again, and you just put these puppies up there and it really gets you like a first-person perspective of it. But just super cool stuff. Absolutely love the art and the presentation these guys bring with their albums. But with that being said, they also did it to me again where their album, the track listing is not on the back here. That always is kind of a pet peeve of mine, especially doing these reviews when I like to hold up the album, show the cover, while also read the track listing. So, hey, we got them wrote down again. But, anyways, we started off right off the bat with the opening tracks. Man, I'm trying to think. That may be my favorite Tool opening track of all of them. And maybe. It's a tough call. But it is Vicarious, and man, oh man, what a track. I'll go ahead and call it, Adam Jones's best guitar tone is on this album right now. It's got a real crunch to it that I like, and man, just such a cool tone he's got on here. Again, there's a lot of this tribal kind of theme going on that we'll see. Of course, not in this track. This is a really dark track, talking about kind of like how we all are addicted to the TV and see like horrible news and people dying and stuff. Got a bunch of cool time changes. Just one of my favorite Tool tracks of all time. Then you go to the next one, Jumbine, which has some of the best freaking bass work that Justin Chancellor's ever done. And you know what I'm talking about, that little bass breakdown and that bass line that just kind of keeps going. It's got such a, it's got that tribal feel and it's such a dark, like steep tone to it. Just great production overall. Everybody was on their A game on here, like they are on most of the records, but just saying this one in particular, it has a really, really cool sound to it that's consistent throughout the album. And Jumbine is one of my favorite tracks off here, one of my favorite songs by them, period. And I've said that a lot about a lot of songs by these guys, but it's just true. That's, they got a lot of great stuff. Then we kick it into, this song has got 2 parts to it. The first part here, Wings for Mary, which kind of goes into this kind of, hypnotic, buzzing thing going on. And this is the part 1, and, this is about both this and the part 2, which is 10,000 Days, Wings part 2. It's about Maynard's mother who had cancer for like 10,000 days, and it's about her suffer through it. Very, very beautiful song and powerful, lengthy tracks, because, they're kind of, they just lead right into each other. It's a 2-parter. And it's just incredible, incredible stuff. And you really hear that emotion, like when Maynard yells, give me my wings, talking about his, his mother going up, and banging on the pearly gates of heaven, shouting to give her wings. That it's just such a beautiful song. Very, very powerful stuff. But also, just really, really hypnotic at the same time, which is cool. It's got this tribal kind of chanting going on. Just, oh man, such a cool song. Then we get probably the most famous one off here, but it's so damn good. The Pot, of course, talking about pot. So, but it's got some just really fun lyrics in it, liar, lawyer, mirror, show you what's the difference. Just very clever lyrics all over this album. The Pot is a prime example of some of those lyrics, and man, eyeballs deep in muddy water, fucking hypocrite. I mean, I just love the lyrics in that, and the way they just kind of flow together in this track it's just impeccable. It's Tool at their finest, doing, a lot of that kind of, this track definitely reminds me of something that they maybe would have, wrote during the Enema era. As far as like, just a lot of profanity going on up in here and just really, really clever lyrics. Clever, kind of funny, just awesome song. The Pot is one of the best songs off here. It's got a really cool groove to it as well. Very offbeat time signatures. So, yeah. Then we got, speaking of tribal, this sounds like some kind of like, well, some kind of like voodoo thing. It's like an interlude kind of thing. Lipun or Lipun Conjuring. And it's just kind of like some chant. Sounds like a, some kind of voodoo woman just kind of doing her little chant. But it's kind of cool and it flows with the album very well. So, it's a welcome little interlude. Not a problem at all. Then we go to kind of another one that is just kind of, it leads perfectly into the song after it. Lost Keys, Blame Hoffman. Don't really know what that means, but that's what the next kind of thing is here. And it's, it's kind of, it leads perfectly into Rosetta Stones. Those two go hand in hand very well together because they're both just chaotic as hell. I mean, Rosetta Stone, it starts off like these schizophrenic ramblings of like, just rambling off all kinds of stuff. And it's just such a chaotic track, but in a good way, because as you dig deeper and deeper into that song, it's a lengthy one. It's like 11 minutes. You hear it evolve, and you're like, oh wow! By the end of it, you're just like, holy shit, this thing's great, And I kind of forgot how that song went until this re-listen. I always knew it got a lot of praise online. I used to not really get it. I get it now. After this listen here, I'm like, I see what's up with Rosetta Stone. Such a cool song, and definitely a highlight on the album. Then you got probably my least favorite on here, Intention. It's got another kind of mellow track on here. It reminds me actually a lot of something that would be on like maybe a leftover from Lateralis, a really kind of melodic and hypnotic one. But it's not a bad song. It's good, but it just, compared to a lot of the other stuff on here, it just doesn't quite grab me, as much as the big, just amazing tracks on here. And then we go with another beautiful song, Right Into. Oh man, that's pretty much the closer. We got a little epilogue after, but Right Into is, man, it's got again with the really, really cool tones and from Adam Jones doing, those, I'm drawing a blank, it's late, but I'm drawing a blank, but so I can't think of the name of the technique right now. Oh, palm muting, duh, I knew that. But but yeah, some of that palm muting he's got going on, in particular during like the breakdown of Right Into, and another decently lengthy track. None of these are really short tracks except for your little interludes and stuff like that. So, which is welcome to me. Lengthier the Tool track, usually the better. And, at least in my opinion. But Right Into has got a really pretty chorus, very melodic. Probably one of the most melodic ones off here. Then you end it with Viginti Trace, which is just kind of an ending of some weird noises, which is like a 5-minute epilogue. But, it's not a 15-minute one like on Undertone. I've kind of talked about that a couple times, but that just really bugs me. But this is not a bad thing. It closed the album well. But, yeah, with all that being said, just a hell of an album, guys. And again, really cool presentation. I love it. This may be the coolest album art they got, with the kind of interaction with the goggles and stuff. But, just one of, and this will be the last album we get from these guys for like 13 years. So, that's why next time we're hopping from this album that came out in 2006 all the way to 2019's Fear Inoculum, which is the most recent Tool album. Hoping we get a new one, but it took them 13 years last time, so who knows. But anyways, guys, yeah, 10,000 Days, just an incredible album. I feel like it gets underrated in the Tool discography, but to me, it's just an incredible album front to back. But yeah, I'd love to hear what everybody thinks about this album, the really cool artwork and stuff. I love talking about some of that stuff, and and maybe hearing some of you guys' favorite tracks, and maybe some of your guys' comparisons to some of the other Tool albums we've reviewed. But yeah, just like, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned for the final Tool album review next time. Thanks, guys.